Hello, you've just broken the security seal on a brand new episode of Start Select, so it's too late to take us back to the shops. I'm Guy Cocker.
And I'm Mark Walton. We've got a host of great stuff for you on today's show, including interviews, feedback, and we'll be drawing the Gamescom competition prizes from my massive sack.
Prize pile. He means prize pile. Coming up, Kurz, Nürburgring, safety cars. I speak to the developer of Formula 1 2011 about how they're satisfying fan requests.
We draw the winner of our Gamescom swag pile, who, it's safe to say, will never be in need of a USB pen drive again.
And our feedback section, where we run through your thoughtful, well-punctuated and grammatically correct emails and comments.
You'd think that after winning a BAFTA for Best Sports Game, the developers of F1 2010 would be content sitting on their massive thrones, taking turns licking their award.
But they're not. Apparently they've been going online and listening to feedback from people who said the last game wasn't good enough. Want to hear more? Get this video interview in your brain hole. Hey guys, welcome to Codemasters booth on the show floor at Gamescom 2011. I'm joined now by Paul Geel, who is the senior producer for F1 2011. Welcome, Paul. Cheers. So tell us about the game. Headline, new features this year. What can we expect?
Well, players of F1 2010 will find that every feature in the game has been refined and improved from last year, but the big focus this year is about multiplayer. We've invested a lot of development effort in there. New game modes there, co-op championship, play for a season with a friend, going through the upgrades, the R&D, working together to secure the Constructors' Championship. Two-player split screen, you no longer have to go around a friend's house and then put the game away. Proving grounds and time attack challenges to see where you place along your friends list in terms of time across a number of tracks, and then you can fine-tune your time, and there's a total aggregated time. There's also 24 cars online now, so working your way through the traffic is a real skill, as we're finding out in the studio.
So that's really the focus this year for people who want to play in multiplayer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, fundamentals of the game is we've moved the physics forward quite a lot this year, and that's made the cars much more involving to drive, so that obviously benefits single player as well. But it's really had a dramatic improvement on the multiplayer races, especially with the Pirelli tyres, new DRS, Kurz. You've got all these weapons at your disposal now, and it's really sort of the thinking man's racing game. I think we're going to find that lots of people are going to ramp up their race distances at least 20%, maybe as high as 50 or even 100 for some of the hardcore guys. And you can totally do something different to the guy in front. You can do 2 stops, 3 stops, 4 stops, and then you come together at the end, and we're finding in the studio you're just talking non-stop about your experiences. Well, I did this, or maybe if I changed this, then I would have won. Lots of things to brag about. The co-op's one of the big ones, actually. It's really, really good fun, and we find there's sort of 2 ways that plays out in the studio. So you join online together, you set up a game, you invite your friends, you can do all the practice sessions, qualifying and race, but when you look across the garage now, it's your friend rather than an AI driver. And when you're naturally the better driver of the two, you kind of share your setup information. It's quite a relaxed experience. It's quite nice. You're definitely focused together, working on the goal. But when there's not an established number 2 driver, so to say, you kind of don't want to leave those sessions when you're not quite the quickest. So you start to burn up extra sets of tyres. Options are precious to you this year because they're so much grippier and so much more in terms of performance. But obviously you've only got a set number of sets. So you start to do some strange things just to try and get the edge up on your teammate.
Tell us about the career mode this time around, because obviously you've made improvements there. What can we expect in the career?
Yeah, so the career mode's been tightened up quite a lot. I mean, one of the massive benefits of improving the car handling is it's now allowed the field spread to be much bigger. So now if you're driving an HRT, it feels night and day difference to a Red Bull. I mean, you could be 2 or 3 gears slower during a section of corners. You haven't got curves. So in F1 2010, sometimes guys were driving in the Lotus or whatever, and they were getting 6th or 3rd, or maybe even getting a win. I mean, that's not going to happen this year if you're playing on the difficulty level that's right for you. So it's a lot more challenging now to move up through. The objective system's been balanced out, so really it is quite a struggle to get to those objectives. When you do the media questions this year, you can now get press clipping feedback, so it starts to all tie together exactly what's happening in your career, what other teams are thinking of you, what options are beginning to be open to you, and you can really start to see how those interview questions can sort of manipulate your career path. And we spent a massive amount of time focusing on the OSD, trying to use the colour elements that they use on the TV, greens, personal best, purples, facets of all, We're not actually allowed to use the official graphics, so we've tried to mirror it as much as possible. And we've also got a new bit of strategy window as well to try and allow you to make those decisions on the fly. So you've got your engineer feeding you some information, but you can see, are you at optimal fuel, so you're going to get to the end without too much in the bag? Do you want to save fuel when you're on your prime stint and then have a real push at the end when you're on the options? And there's a little bit of information there that says if you were to come into the pits now, this is where you would come out. So you kind of keep one eye on that and the lap times, and are you gaining on the car in front? And of course the undercut's new this year. It used to be in Formula 1, you stay out as long as possible, and if you could kind of keep your lap times competitive, you jump the guy in front of you. No longer that's the case. You've got to kind of think, oh, the guy behind's pitted now, I need to really make the most out of this next lap and get in the pits as soon as possible. I mean, every area of the game has been uplifted. I think when we first looked at the feature set, we weren't exactly sure what we were going to be able to do in 9 months. It was a little bit of a worry in the studio. But I mean, certain areas of the game that were in last year that we're reasonably happy with, we've just fine-tuned from day one. So things like speech, rules and penalties have all come on a long way without any substantial rewrites. Things like the pit stop system and AI, we kind of went back to the drawing board a little bit and thought, we need something that's a little bit more precision this time around, and we've rewrote them. So it kind of, sections of the game came along early on, and you just allowed 2 or 3 months of proper full-on balancing this time around.
And safety car, I gather it was a big request from the community. It's finally in there.
It was a big request from the community. I think Steve was getting that on his Twitter account a lot. We've seen it always on the forum. We only wanted to put it in when it was right, and there was a few licensing challenges as well. But delighted to say it's in now, and it is playable as well. It's not just cutscenes.
Good stuff. All right, when can we expect to see F1 2011, and on what platforms?
It's out 23rd of September. PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC.
All right, great stuff. Thanks very much for your time. You can find out more about F1 2011. Just head over to GameSpot.com.
While you might think that we work hard at Gamescom, playing the latest games and writing Pulitzer-worthy previews, we're not. We actually employ a small army of German children who run their prose through Google Translate and then stick our name on it.
We, meanwhile, run around the convention centre with the sole aim of gathering the best swag to give away to you, our dear Start Select viewers. This year, we managed to grab such delights as a Sonic Anniversary Messenger bag, a Cinemora Zippo lighter, and let's not forget the Xbox 360 dog tag / USB stick.
That's more stuff than our poor postie can manage, basically, and it's time to draw a lucky winner.
And the winner of Das Gamescom swag bag is Matthew Chent from Kent.
If you didn't win this time, remember to watch Start Select in August 2012 when we'll have another bag of worthless crap. I mean, awesome limited edition prizes to give away. It's the time of the show where we read out your feedback. It's like a performance review, only with more swearing.
First up, user Gohan Rage complained on last week's joke that Start Select was ending following Seb's epic dance. I am confused. Why would Start Select not continue to make new episodes Monday to Saturday? This majorly sucks. I watch Start Select. I really enjoy British humour, he said in what must be the most ironic comment ever posted on the internet.
Many in the tech world were mourning the loss of Steve Jobs from Apple last week, but not user time frame. He says, I am sorry, but I am not thanking Steve Jobs for games hitting it big on handhelds. Apple has always hated computer games, but the demand was just too high to ignore it.
Over in Pedant's Corner, meanwhile, user Shadow commented on the inaccuracy of Call of Duty Resurrection's zombie-based moon level, saying, given the specifics of the mythology, werewolves on the moon would have made more sense. Pluto might have been a better choice for the undead. Honestly, you give people the chance to shoot zombies on the moon and still they're not happy. Rito, we're out, but we'll be back again on Monday for another week of Daily Start Selects.
If you still haven't had your fill though, be sure to check out Johnny and I in another episode of our mobile gaming show, Appetite for Distraction.
That's it from us though. Run along, you cheeky scamp. A Cinemora Zippo lighter, and an Xbox 360 dog tag / USB stick. And let's not forget the Xbox 360 dog tag / USB stick.
That's more stuff than our poor postie can manage. That's more stuff than our postie can manage. That's more stuff than our...
Because I've put poor postie, it's...
forget.
What's that called? Alliteration, that's it. Thanks, I'm the wordsmith and I don't even know that.
Also, that's Gohan Rage, because that's a Dragon
Gohan
Ball.
Rage,
Yeah.
sorry. What did I say? Gohan Rage.
Gohan Raj.
Gohan Rage.